match. I actually do agree with Purge in that I do believe that something will happen, whether it's an official, regional tournament, online tournament, or if it's a third-party tournament that will take DPC standings into account. So I actually do think that these standings will matter, Synderen, aside from just the points.
Yeah, and even if I mean, whether it's just for the points or something bigger scale or whatever, I think especially for EG, I think even if they were playing for literally nothing other than showing promise, I think they would still play their hearts out, because EG's showing in the DPC so far has been pretty lackluster compared to what the players themselves and what the brand is used to. So I think, you know, they really want to show growth and take every opportunity they have right now to, you know, train more with their players. Like the panel talked about, JRX is looking better and better every day. They're starting to play better as a team, so take those chances to get that practice in. And Undying has been looking good overall. Not the best showing in Game 3 against Quincy the other day, but aside from that, been looking very good in the UND DPC, so this should be a great opponent for EG. What do you think? Do you think this is going to be a close series, or... Because I wouldn't have thought it was close 3 weeks ago, but now it could be.
Yeah, I mean, MSS, you know, he's one of those guys you can just plug and play, so to speak. So I think their roster, in terms of, even though he's just a substitute right now, sure, it makes more sense on paper, you know. So yeah, I think this will go 3 games. I think it'll be competitive. Although this game, I'm on the same camp as Lacoste, where I have, even though it is Arteezy, I guess he did say he trusts Arteezy, but Naga as a hero, you just don't see it win. Like it has its time in the sun for like 20-30 minutes. It extends the game really late, and then it doesn't do anything, it feels like, a lot of the time. What are your thoughts on Naga as a hero?
I think it's very, how to say, it's something that's item dependent, and I think one of the standout things about Yatoro at TI was his itemization in one of his Naga games, where a lot of players on Naga will just default to buying the same items almost every game, right? And then if you deviate from that build in certain games, it can be amazing to get, say, the Aghanims on Naga earlier in the build. Awesome item against Lycan and Jug, so I could definitely see Arteezy wanting to grab that. And obviously a big part of the reason they picked it was that they were having that Lycan matchup, if not the only primary reason. I don't think the hero is terrible, and I think if it has a good laning stage and 1 or 2 good core matchups, especially to itemize Ags for, I definitely think it has a place. To me, this is a good Naga game, so I'm expecting Arteezy to look good here.
Yep, I mean, like you said, definitely makes sense against the Lycan, and if you get that Ags, it works against the Blade Fury on Jug, but we'll see. It is very slow. Very, very slow.
It takes time. Sure. It does. And that's where I think EG have done a good job with the rest of their draft being pretty fast, right? Like Beastmaster just needs Helm of the Dominator, Clockwork's online basically from levels alone, Quap is one of the fastest rotating mid heroes, which can also scale. So as far as the Naga lineup goes, maybe you would have wanted one of the supports to be a slightly different hero to make her better, like Disruptor, something along those lines, but apart from that, it looks pretty stable.
What are your thoughts on it's literally a 1v1 right now because of all the rotations from the supports. It's Naga versus Lycan specifically.
Great
in
lane for Naga. It's very, very good.
And a constant proccing of Riptide, very annoying to deal with it for any melee hero.
Lycan doesn't have enough damage and no AoE damage to kill the Naga illusions, so for the most part you can just dominate and just push him out and get CS and get the free chip damage in all the time from Riptide. So I do expect, if this just remains a one-on-one, I expect Arteezy to come out on top just in general here. And I also think that's why Crit is happy to just run after Moon Meander all the time on the clock. Like, if you get this one-on-one isolated, that's job well done. If both Nyx and Clock are level 1, both heroes are obviously pretty bad. But I would say, you know, later you give a little bit of lane space and you get level 6 on the Meech respectively, and it's okay. You don't need a lot of items or gold to have impact. So, it's pretty stable.
Yeah, in mid lane we have Braille versus Abed, it's Lina versus Quap, and in terms of the actual CS, 17-5 versus 11-0. So Abed getting a bit crushed in the early stages. We'll see if that ends up continuing. Good to see Braille kind of, it wasn't just Braille. I think we talked about this before, but the last match they played against Quincy Crew, it felt like they were playing not to lose, which ended up meaning that they were super, super passive in everything that they did, and I think that cost them the game. It's Saberlight in the top lane, taking some damage, but trying to walk off this battery, assault Mumiander, trying to share the damage, and will do so successfully. As Tomato gets first blood in the bot lane, so Blade Fury being expended for that.
Lion is very susceptible to Jug when he has boots level 3, and that's exactly what happened there. Tomato just ran him down with Blade Fury. If you get caught by anything as Lion, you can almost die 100 to 0, and Disruptor, any kinetic field, bit of damage and slow from Thunderstrike, and that's the job well done for Tomato, getting off to a good start. Yeah, I want to focus a little bit more on this mid lane, because this was a matchup we've talked about in Western Europe in some of the games with the Quap versus Lina, where the panel was kind of inconclusive about how this lane's supposed to go. I thought on paper Lina is favored in this lane, but then the games we saw pretty much ended in a wash in mid. This is more what I imagine this lane should look like, maybe even slightly better for the Quap than it is. Bryle is doing a very good job against Abed here. So it's interesting to see how big regional differences there can be. And it's not because the Western European mid players were playing a bad Lina. Bryle is just playing an excellent one here. And they are going to try to pressure him here with Jerax to get Abed a slightly better position in the game.
Yep, not just pressuring, but end up taking both water runes as well. So Bryle's going to need a TP from a teammate, which he's going to get right now. Fill that bottle up very nicely, and he's back to good shape here. MSS in the bot lane is going to be soloing as a result of Lion not being able to really stay here too much. Just will be stacking the jungle here. I'm assuming, yeah, Helm of the Dominator into eventual Overlord. We're going to see the Earth. This is the game with Earth Spike and Impale, so that's going to be fun to cast.
Yeah, very easy.
Just call both Impale and
the abilities are very different, so not a problem.
You keep saying that. Like,
one is ground targeted and wider, and one is target point and less wide.
Wow.
And so one of them is cast by a hero that's literally a bug, and the other one is cast by a hero that has been to hell. So they're not very similar.
Saberlight is going to get chased by Arteezy, but Mumiander is in the vicinity. You can see, looks like Jerax takes the tumble again to Tomato. So
yeah, similar
just stepping out of line.
Thunderstrike into Blade Fury. Jerax just a bit out of position here in the lane. It is difficult because you want to help your Beastmaster farm, and if you're literally just standing 500 range behind Beast, what's your presence even anyway? But if you're not there for protection, Beastmaster can get killed by these two, so you kind of need to hover around. But Jerax got a little bit too close to the sun there and got punished.
And Mumiander trying to secure the rune. It's going to end up spawning bottom, so Abed blinking in the area.
Get a regen. He might be paid.
That is nice. He doesn't have blink up though. And gets mana burn on top of that. Impale to follow. Dubu with the glimpse. Oh, but the LSA, that's not even needed. Laguna Blade is more than enough as Bryle gets a much needed kill on pesky Abed. Extends his lead in the mid lane now.
Abed did not use the rune. That's the silver lining there. So at the very least, when he comes back, he has a little bit of a power play now, knowing there's no Laguna and he has Sonic and a regen rune to work with. Maybe you could see a potential rotation from Jerax with that smoke coming into mid. I think that would be a very good move right now after stacking the triangle here for his carry Naga. Would love to see him make that call. They actually have crit in the neighborhood as well. A great hero to gank Lina with if you get in. Doesn't have cogs though. Well, Abed's gonna just get in the slow. Bryle.
Shadow Strike. Yeah, LSA does connect on Clockwork. It's gonna buy him a little bit of time as Mumiander is there nicely, but a Sonic Wave is gonna be enough to finish him off his crit. Looks to be a potential trade. Mumiander still getting right click from behind. Crit one right click away, but I don't think Mumiander's gonna find him now.
Under attack.
Instead, Abed's gonna secure himself the double kill.
And
so a lot of help in this mid lane from both respective teams.
Yeah, it's important. What a wonderful sequence here for Abed, right? You get that kill, you get the secondary kill, you used your... Oh, you might even get a third here. Dubu showed for a moment. He's going to TP. He will get out.
And it looks like he's fine.
2 kills, force a TP out, and you still have full mana. That's pretty good. That's a big win, I would say, for Abed on that Quap. He might be... Is he overtaking Bryle? He is. By 5 gold.
Very big lead with that 5 gold discrepancy. As finally, I was waiting for this. Saberlight finally goes down on the top lane. He's been living on the edge here. So he's been like 200 HP for feels like half the game already.
Yeah, the problem with that is you don't have very much confidence to farm, right? So like you can survive, but how good is it if you can't really commit for CS against the Naga? Look at the net worths. He has 2,700 to Arteezy's 4K. Which is actually a bigger loss than the bottom lane for Beastmaster against the Jug, who managed to get 2 kills on Lion and have 50 CS. that is still a bigger lead up top for Arteezy on the Naga Siren. He is off to the races here. This is actually going to be one of those games where if they don't shut down Naga, Arteezy is going to be averaging something like 13, 14 CS per minute at this rate. Obviously not currently, that would be impossible, but you look at 15 minutes to 20 and onwards, this is only going to ramp up and explode even more with the 404 build. Stacked triangle. He's going to get filthy rich.
Is there a specific build for Naga that you want to see this game, or are you fine with the cookie cutter? You mentioned Toro as Moon Meander. Looks like he's going to get up his spike carapace, but he's pretty much surrounded here. And Abed is now on a killing spree after that. I wouldn't even say it was a rough start. He was just he was losing the lane, but certainly not anymore.
I mean, I have to say, when it comes to Naga, it's one of the heroes I'm least knowledgeable about, to be honest. But I do like the thought of Manta Axe. I think he could pull that off. Maybe you do want one item in between, but I would definitely like to see the Axe no later than third major item in this game. I just think there's so much potential with, say, Manta Skadi Axe or Manta Axe, or something that I think Yatoro also played. I'm going to reference that game a lot because it was kind of... I'm not going to say it was the first game ever with that item build, but at least for TI it was pretty innovative. I think he had Orchid as well in that build. So maybe you could go Manta Axe Orchid, the thing. Crit.
Yeah, he ended up going Bloodthorn in that game, I do believe, right?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly. As you can see a glimpse here onto Crit inside that kinetic field. He is surrounded. Laguna Blade from Bryle.
Killed by the base
police. One tower to fall.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Sure, Cinderin.
Nice pot shots. Hey, man, he got a phone call and then he died, so... Must have been killed by the base police, right? That's how it works.
Saberlight has now finished his... Oh, I'm just ignoring everything you say right now, by the way.
Middle tower has fallen.
Good pick, though, here.
I don't even know where to go with that. It's a voice line. What am I supposed... We want to turn that into a conversation?
I don't know. You've talked about less many a time.
I mean, that's true. That is true.
Mid tower goes down, though, Shannon. Let's focus on the important stuff. Undying, good rotation.
Now, let's talk about memes.
Let's talk about the mid tower was a meme, and it has been removed.
Regeneration.
We will no longer be working with the mid tower.
Arteezy about 1,000 away from finishing the Manta that you mentioned. Looking at Bryle, Boots of Travel, not quite done yet. Abed, in the meantime, only has his... Is anything coming on the curry? He really only has treads right now. Working on BKB first item.
Tower is under attack.
I guess so.
Seems to be the case, yeah.
Tower is under attack.
Wait, that can't be true. Does that add up with his item costs? Yeah, I guess it does.
Radiant's bottom tower.
What do you think of BKB literal first item? And by literal, I mean figuratively. As you can see, Saberlight pops his ult. Nice cogs from Crip. He's going to get LSA. There's the save from Arteezy. If they can say anything else on top of this. Jerax stuck inside the static storm. Dubu taking the heavy damage, though. Finds the cover of his teammates as the Centaur continues to chase. Looks like we'll finally get that right click as there's the roar into Moon Meander into the Centaur stomp as well. It's going to be a second kill going the way of EG and a hook shot to follow onto Bryle. Finished off by Abed and EG off the setup from the song. Get 3 big kills in their favor.
Great play from Arteezy there. This is something that I think EG have been very different at than many other teams. They play their carry very isolated, but in this case, Arteezy is there with Naga and makes all the difference in the world with that 3-man song, setting them up. And Dubu, I actually like the static storm from him. He's caught in such an awkward position here when his team gets slept. He's in the middle of the river. You're going to see that yellow dot in the minimap down there. So he kind of just has to static storm the Lion down here to just wall him off and try to keep his teammates safe up there, which he does successfully do to begin with, but still the Beastmaster is just overwhelmingly powerful. Centaur gets that kill, and then nice chain stun setup onto Moon Meander. Very well done. EG just did everything right in this move. Very clean.
Yeah, and with that, they're sporting a 3K network lead. Tomato has his Maelstrom. This build is going to be interesting because you're going against a Naga. Obviously, want to deal with the illusions. I assume Shard at some point is going to be 100% necessary, but do you go for like a full Mjolnir right off the bat, or do you go more traditional with maybe SNY or something to that effect?
Maybe Scott.
Or even Manta maybe for another dispel for Ensnare?
Yeah, but the thing about that is... Oh, hang on.
Hook shot into... Okay, death.
All right. Do you have any other laps left, EG? Nope, those were their laps. Okay. Yeah, maybe you have to go Manta against Naga. It's definitely an awkward position to be in. Nice try on the Knight Tomato, just barely a little bit too late, and Abid will grab that. So yeah, Manta does sound pretty good against Naga, but then you have a Manta against Quap, which kind of just kills it off really easily. It's not a very high damage item per gold for Juggernaut. So yeah, you're going to stay alive against Naga, but can you take the fight then if you don't have stats? It's tricky. Arteezy is 3 levels ahead. Now. What the hell? He's level 12? Jug is level 9.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That's Arteezy gaming.
Keep in mind it's Naga. This hero doesn't generally get super high levels because a lot of its farm is, you know, on the other side of the map or away from the main, but just this involvement in kills has been really good for him. He's already up to over 10 CS per minute now, 14 minutes in.
Saberlight pops shapeshift, looking for a potential kill. Abid's going to TP out. MSS being chased. Moon Meander with... Oh! I thought that was going to connect. Everybody gets out for EG. So Bra likely going for the BKB next. It looks like Scotty is the second item for Arteezy, by the way. So we'll be going for more stat-based.
Money changes hands.
That's about as close as you can get to stunning someone here.
Yeah. Extremely close.
Was it out of range, actually? Was it too short?
I don't know.
That was very... If it was in range, it was 0.1. Very, very tight.
What about 0.001?
Or that.
It doesn't show all of the decimals in there, and you know that.
That is true.
It's math.
Radiant are scanning.
Yes, that is math. Very good.
EG. That's numbers. Maybe a more accurate statement. Triangle is being scanned right now, but that's just illusions, as EG is actually on surrounding areas right now. They were like still without the ult for 50 seconds, so probably do not want to fight. They are scouting with the wolves, however.
They're trying to get Dubu a glimpse here with the wolves as well as Nyx, but not in range. And Dubu glimpse only level 4. So, or level 3, sorry. Only level 4.
Only level 4?
Not level 4. Only level 3. There we go.
3 is still pretty far.
That's math.
Pretty juicy. Yeah. That's numbers. That's algebra. They come up with a new saying around this. So 4K net worth lead for EG. It feels like they're just... Oh, Moon Meander. He's going to be seen here. Pops a spike carapace. Earth spike to follow. Static storm, though. Not going to hold anybody in. And the Impale is going to miss on top of that. So Undying. A little bit of misstep here. MSS does have vision. Gets off the center. Okay, the finger of death to follow. Moon Meander's very low, trying to walk it off. Crick gets the hook shot onto Dubu. As you can see, the Nyx has died. Dubu is next. So 5v3 just like that in EG's favor. The cores from Undying need to GTFO.
Shannon, I have a question for you.
Yes?
What do you say to your friend who's trying to eat out of the bottom of the waterbed and he's not supposed to?
You're going to have to explain what a waterbed is.
Okay, eating at the bottom of a lake. He's trying to eat out of the bottom of a lake and he's not supposed to. What do you say to him to make him stop?
Radiant structures are fortified.
Why can't you make a better analogy than this?
You say, that's algebra.
Is under attack.
All right, you got me. I thought it was some Danish saying that you were butchering the English translation. Man, you're a genius. Should have more faith in you in the future. Yeah. I mean, that one's really bad, but it becomes good with how bad it is, and I instantly recognize that being bad myself.
That's how I live my life, basically.
Good.
Radiant's so bad that it's good.
Sees that Roshan
occasionally
did in fact spawn here. Yeah, Bryle is still a recipe away from BKB. That's kind of the go time for him, I would assume. And Tomato is actually going for just a casual Yasha into Mjolnir, so wants to deal with these illusions right off the bat. And I wouldn't be surprised, and correct me if I'm wrong here, that he just gets a shard like right after that. Or do you think that's too much of an investment?
No, I think you have to. It's too good in this game to not buy, I think. The problem, again, is just the gap between the carries, right? I don't know how you overcome this. This is what makes it such a good Naga game, is you basically have a guaranteed good lane. You have a guaranteed good matchup against at least one core, arguably both. I don't know if Jugger was that good of a counter pick to begin with, but you can't keep up the pace against Naga with this Radiant lineup unless you make successful moves. And something we've talked about, right? Undying have this tendency to get a little bit timid when things aren't going too hot early on in this game. It's also a lot of its credit to EG playing tight, right? It's difficult for the Radiant lineup to engage if there's always the Song of the Siren and the hookshot just disengaging and separating them. So it's honestly, it's fascinating to watch EG's development, right? This doesn't feel like something we would have seen from them 3 weeks ago. They've just really picked up the pace all of a sudden, and I think that's very inspiring for the fans to see. This could be a big kill,
they're gonna try to go for Arteezy here.
They got
the Static Storm kinetic field. He's at half HP and still has Song, so I think he is just dandy.
Okay, so that looked like it was going to be good, but the damage just needed...
Yeah.
The cavalry was called in too late. They need better horses.
I guess so.
Or better wolves.
Did you know that there's 2 pronunciations to cavalry?
No.
And 2 spellings?
Cavalry is not a thing.
It is a thing, actually.
Okay, well, I will say cavalry.
I don't like it.
Cavalry.
No, that's fine. Yeah, cavalry, it's weird, right? That's the original
and you can spell it like that too? Oh, that's a hook.
No, you can't. I made that one up. Moomiander bursted down and crit. He's going to right-click down from the side from Brile. With the Laguna Blade is enough, just barely, to finish him off. So it's a 1-for-1. And I think any quote-unquote even trades will go Undying's way right now, considering their deficit at the moment. The BKB is online for Brile, so we can see a couple Aghanim Scepters queued up here for Undying as well, but still a ways away for both Saberlight and Dubu. I'm not sure if they'll have enough time before the high ground will be attempted here from EG. I assume going for a couple kills is Roar onto the Blade Fury. Tomato, Sonic Wave to follow. He is deleted. Brile forced the BKB and run away. And they'll lose Moomiander yet again, so this is likely a Roshan attempt. And that is kind of what's needed for a high ground opportunity for EG.
All right, so remember what we've talked about, right? With the most satisfying spells in the game to use, and we both like Culling Blade, you know? Sonic Wave is up there. It is, especially with the Arcana, it is just so... Oh, every time you hit a good Sonic Wave, or even watch someone hit a good Sonic Wave, it's just like, hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Aegis on Arteezy. His Scotty is obviously complete. And there's the Axe. Love it. I think this is very good. And then we're probably looking at an Orchid into Bloodthorn after that as a possibility at least. Could also just go Butterfly. It's very, very strong against the Radiant lineup. Triple physical damage through Lycan, Jug, and Lina. Butter is actually amazing here.
How's the high ground defense for Undying? I mean, Moomiander, he does have his Philosopher's Stone, but he's going for a 4-staff first. I assume Ags would be next if he can ever afford it, but that's a big if. But I talked about this pregame. Naga just, when you get to a certain point, it just feels like, all right, now what? And we'll see if Undying can withstand that or not. They're going to start with the Impale. The Spike Carapace as well. Yeah, Naga, all right. Arteezy's getting relatively low. Still has the Aegis, of course. They're going to use Laguna Blade to get rid of it. They'll be successful at that. They're going to lose their Nyx Assassin to start things out. Is Chris just going to walk away now? But gets back into the Blade Fury. So down he goes. Roar now. Light to Saberlight. Into the Ensnare. He just cannot move. This is why Naga is such a good counter to Lycan. He even gets whipped from the side. Adds insult to injury. Brown Company have to go back into their high ground. They do get the Aegis, but it costs quite a bit.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I still think overall EG will maintain their control, right? They're going to keep playing the enemy triangle. They got the push into the mid-tier 2 a little bit. No real tower damage, but at the very least, look at the map and like the positioning of the waves, right? Arteezy's now going to start cutting top with one of his illusions, and...
Oh boy. Sonic Wave onto 2. Doesn't get a kill, but... they'll find one on Moomiander instead in the triangle. Into the Glimpse, though. Abed has to pop his BKB. There's the Song. A little bit of miscommunication there from EG, but
yeah,
regardless,
done with one of the two.
It's just the charge of BKB.
Is under attack.
Tomato trying to get that Hyperstone from the Secret Shop. Still needs to finish the recipe to get the Mjolnir, though. All right, are there items for Undying that feel like, okay, this is when we can try to make a comeback? Is it the shard slash, or the shard on Jug with the Ag's Saberlight, where he's biting him into a wolf?
Yeah, it's you're probably looking at that. Like, the concern I have for Undying right now is the damage output, right? It's something that Jugger struggles with against a hero like Naga, is that you can't do very controlled, determined single target damage. You're kind of reliant on Omnisplash building on the right one, and that's very hard to accomplish, obviously.
They just smoked on a hawk.
Okay.
Oh, they get the double impale though. I guess EG didn't see it. But into the Laguna Blade, they're gonna find 2 valuable kills. One specifically onto Abed. Brit gonna have the hook shot to safety.
That was a bit of a blunder.
Okay, they definitely smoked on a hawk.
Yeah, for sure.
And either they didn't see it or they didn't care.
They might have not anticipated that the attack would land that quickly, and they just wanted to finish off the camp they were doing or whatever. But yeah, important for Undying, a little bit of momentum going their way. It's not the biggest of deals. They won't get a tower out of this. They won't get any major map control. They do get a nice aggressive ward out though that could eventually set up on an Arteezy kill in the triangle potentially. That's something that Dubu did manage to get out there. But yeah, gonna back off here once again.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I do think you're right though. You finish the shard on Jug, you get the axe on Lycan, and then you probably try your next move. I'm not sure if Jug is the right hero to bite though, or if you bite the Lina. Wait, how is it works? You lose your ranged attack, don't you?
I don't remember. I know it's been bugged.
There's been different iterations, so I don't remember what it is when you bite ranged heroes. I'm not.
I'm sure Purge knows the answer to this question, as Moon Meander looks to be mega dead.
Yeah, he's a goner.
We'll take down eventually. Oh, we have the instant hex onto Tomato, into the Finger of Death. And he's going to get a spin-off, though, but the Sonic Wave has had to be expended. Regardless, still a very valuable kill for EG, and they're going to get this tier 2 tower as well.
They're going to go high ground.
Why not?
Yeah, that was costly.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They got their ancient granite golem ready to go, and the right clicks commence. This tower is absolutely melting here.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Lycan doesn't even have his courier to be able to finish the Aghanim Scepter. Not that it would maybe matter here. So Mumia gets force-stabbed into the Impale. Arteezy at half mana, not even half HP. Abed just destroying everybody. Pops the BKB to dodge the LSA. Very nicely done. They're going to find 2 beautiful kills onto these supports as the melee racks falls as well. And after the buybacks come through, EG just disengages. But comes back. They might find a consolation kill onto MSS. Looks like the rest of EG are just going to leave him. That's still 9k lead with melee racks.
That is a very small consolation, but yeah, it's something at least. But they had to use 2 support buybacks to get this kill, and of course the kill on Jerax, who did a very great job there. The moment it looked like Undying were going for that setup attempt on the first kill, Jerax just blinks in, hexes Lina, and gets a double Earth Spike afterwards. Very nicely done there.
And Saberlight's been sitting on enough gold for his Ags for a good amount of time now. His courier is just respawning with one of the components on it. So that looks to be the next pickup here. Should be delivered very shortly. And we'll see if that makes any difference here. It's the tier 2 tower now being pressured. They're going to be scouted out. And basically everybody's up for EG. The tower will be technically conceded, but Arteezy doesn't have his Ags yet. Oh, wait, he does. Wait, so you have to do it after the spin. Yeah,
right.
Okay. It's not like it's undispellable. And it's the range. I believe it's the range increase with the Ags, right?
Yeah, and a cooldown reduction.
Oh, yeah, 6 second CD.
To 8. It's so good.
And 400 extra range. Yeah, nice.
Very, very good Ags.
And man, you've called this spot on. Other than the Scotty, you did say one item in between. You didn't name it. But Butterfly looks to be next for Arteezy.
Yeah, it is just really valuable here. Undying's heroes can't really afford MKB. So, shapeshift. They're gonna go for it. This is pretty damn YOLO, actually.
Yep, Tomato is a wolf. Abed is there as well. But there's the song. Gonna stop everybody in their tracks. MSS has already expended the BKB. They can continue to chase here. Remember, wolf form Makes you a very fast Cinderin. Tomato does not have the blink dagger yet that he's queued up. Hook shot gonna block everybody in into the beautiful Sonic Wave with the Static Storm only connecting on one. Let's see if they can take out Ovid in the meantime. He pops his BKB though. It's not the Aghanim Scepter Static Storm yet. Omni Slash crit. Looks like he's gonna take basically all of the slashes. He's gonna get rooted now from the low ground. And he's just gonna get right click down into Oblivion. They will find MSS though, so Undying, they will at least trade to some capacity here. Brow still had his BKB, right-clicking Abed now. Looks like he's gonna be able to walk away though, just outside the kinetic field.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Brow still left alone. Arteezy just continue to right-click. The sentry is just way too much. Double kill for Arteezy. Saberlight. I mean, this is pretty good for Undying still. They're at least getting some kills.
Considering how far behind they are, that was a pretty good trade for them. Bit of a gold win overall. They don't kill the big guy in Arteezy, but they get a lot of other decent kills. They end a streak, I believe. Or was that? No, that was actually Arteezy ending Bryle's streak, so huge win for him overall individually, but the team as a total do lose slightly. And again, this is a little bit of the same problem as before, right? They waste MSS's BKB along with the Song, similar to the situation made with the Quap BKB. If they have full trust in each other and a good combination there, they wouldn't need to use Beast BKB, and maybe he has a better fight afterwards. But still, it is very obvious in these fights how much they're struggling to deal with Naga. Look at this ensnare range, by the way. Where threw that from? It is so crazy.
Insane.
Getting Tomato all the way up there from bottom right.
Tomato, by the way, has opted, he's changed his mind quite a bit. He had Shard, he had Blink Dagger queued, but now just finishes his Manta. So just wants that extra Dispel for the Ensnare. And they have a Lotus Orb on Saberlight, so tons of Dispels to work with to get rid of this really annoying Ensnare.
Still concerned about the damage, especially now that the butter is complete.
Do you think they're overdoing it with, it's not just Dispels, but both Tomato and Bryle are going for Lycans right now. And I'm more concerned for Tomato not having the damage that you've been talking about.
Yeah.
It feels slightly overkill.
I agree. I think you can buy one on Lina and maybe put it on Jug, and then Jug can get damage. The way these fights are breaking down, having Aghanim Scepter on Jug would actually be nice too, right? It's... They're quite extended. He would get to use it maybe twice. He will use it to reposition and get away from the Naga. There's definitely options. And you're not playing against the Diffusal, so you're not too worried about being mana burned so you can't use the Ags. So I can definitely see that being an option. Big smoke time.
Undying is smoked up, but this looks like they're going to head right. True, but they're going to find Abed. Up with a hook shot from Crit, gets off the nice cogs as well. Finger of Death, looks like it's going to be a trade of supports to start things out here.
Did he finger the wolf? I think he misclicked, it doesn't matter.
He fingered something. I saw a green bolt of lightning. Yeah. Now Tomato is being bitten. He is now a Jugger Wolf, chasing with the real wolf. Limps onto MSS into the fray. He's going to have to spin out, it looks like, as Arteezy pops that song. See if they can turn this around a little bit. Saberlight, gonna get surrounded, has the Lycans applied to him right now. He's gonna get stuck inside the cogs. Laguna Blade onto Naga, but not really a whole lot of damage done, but Omnislash doing a ton after the fact. You can see the roar finally expended on Tomato into the Ensnare. Not the greatest layering from EG this time, but a double burn strike into the Sonic Wave. Deletion of the Juggernaut. And that means the fight is over. Lotus Orb reflecting a little bit there, but Bryle will likely die, so a 3-for-1, sorry, 3-for-2 technically. Crit bought back and died again.
Yeah, should be a 4th kill here and maybe a Roche.
Yeah.
Oh, he got out of range. Naga has Gem, but not in range with the real one. So Moonmander barely getting away. Can they Roche? I think they can, right? With Beastmaster?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, he finds the regen. Now he definitely can. He needed the mana for the mirror image.
So MSS has Shard, Abed has Shard, Lion does not, Clock does not, Naga does not. Do you just give it to Naga? I mean, Naga's is kind of meh, honestly. Yeah, maybe Lion? Lion seems like it would be the best bet. Oh, Moonmeander jumps in. What does he get?
Did he stole?
Did he get anything?
He got, no. I thought he stole the shard, but did he steal it and drop it in bench?
No, Shard is on Arteezy. He ate it.
Okay.
And they have Aegis.
Radiant's bottom
And this was a
tower
second
is
rush,
under
right? So
attack.
that's it.
Yeah, Aegis in the quad.
So Song of the Siren will now heal. I mean, it is a good heal, 5% of max HP, but it feels like based on how they've been using it, if he had used this in the past, it wouldn't have done anything, pretty much. What I'm trying to say.
He's mainly using it in the beginning of fights to just mitigate wolf bite and to position himself for a good ensnare.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Well, he does have Butterfly now, and he does have Titan Sliver. He is looking very difficult to kill. I mean, that's the one thing. That's the timer for Undying is you have to kill him before the song comes out. And if you don't, if he gets it off, then he's back to full HP, essentially. Because of that shard. This looks like Undying is going to smoke with 3 members right now. Moon Meander scouting things out. Has Impale again. MSS just standing there. Oh, all right. Vendetta into the Impale. Bryle with the LSA Laguna Blade, but Jarex jumps in, gets the nice sheep onto Bryle to start. Static Storm, not going to do much. Glimpse back into Jarex, though. He's going to pop the Goat Scepter. It means he's going to burn just a little bit faster, but he actually lives because of the right click. And there's the song reset. MSS is healing up, so this is doing something. Sonic Wave, nicely timed, and Bryle looks to be very done. So BKB forced out by Abed, though. 2 for nothing. Aegis still online for EG, as they're looking primed and ready to potentially take this game now. Sinner Tomato drops Wild Blade Fearing. GG is called game 1 to EG. So Naga Siren actually wins the game. I'm shocked.
Yeah, I really like how EG laned. I like how they played, and I like their overall